Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the independent wrestling promotion in WWE 2K25. Kind of took a little break, and I'm kind of getting off of sickness and stuff, so bear with me here. And what we're going to do first is we're going to be editing shows with participations because of, we all know, Jordynne Grace has been assigned to SmackDown and Javon Evans to Raw. But I do not have the DLC for Jordynne Grace on here, so I don't think I have her to switch to SmackDown, but I do have Javon Evans based off of the base game that he is in here, and so he will be switched. Yeah, I would have to get that DLC in order to get her. So he will be taken off of NXT. I feel like Trick Williams is going to be on SmackDown and Obafemi may be on SmackDown, but until they are officially assigned to those places, I will not switch them. So for the world title, these people are all missing spots, but we can I'm gonna put Javon Evans in this one for the time being. Braun Breaker has been, so I'll take him off of this one. AJ Styles out of this one. Bronson Reed in this one. Gunther stays in that. Sami Zayn is usually a mid card. So we'll accept that for that. Does it? Oh, he puts it number 7. And then this one for the world contender. Be Rey Mysterio. Say, or they're the tag team, so I can't really change that. AJ Styles, Braun Breaker, Austin Theory, Finn, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate are usually the tag team. And Grayson Waller would be Intercontinental, since Austin Theory and him have split. So we'll put him on that. And tag team wise, those guys are technically a tag team. Oh, so Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are not a tag team in this game. We'll put an Intercontinental. So, it's either that or I deleted it because it's not an active tag team right now. So, where is that? So I think that covers everybody. Oh, no women. So, we'll just add them. Intercontinental, and there's the tag team and then the women's division. Yeah, Valhalla. think I removed her. So I don't know why she's still in it. And there could be still some bugs within this game. Valhalla is not part of that. Maybe Niall. Stark is still technically on the website and stuff for the roster. So add her to that. And then for this, is all left Naomi. And those two are gone from the company. I mean, whether it be backstage stuff or whatnot, they're not even. Okay. Well, we're going to eliminate them now. So, save that. I could issue them to mine. Because right now we have 3 tag teams. These were just made, generated, and then these 2 are technically a tag team. They aren't anymore because they aren't in WWE. That's what based off of this independent wrestling thing. And then women's division is kind of, I would say, stacked because it's either that or the tags, and that's it. So, and then I know I mentioned sending the Tortures to SmackDown because that would be the next thing up, but with how I've been kind of doing this is reaching to the next level, and then based off of that go on to the next. I'm gonna put them to NXT because this game what ends up happening is it auto generates tag teams by itself, because that's what it did with Elektra Lopez and Shotzi, and see how it does there. And if there is no really traction within that tag team division with the Tortures coming into it after they were to vacate the titles, which I think after this episode I may just end up doing it if they don't end up losing, and then the tag team titles are up for grabs, that it will just be their next level up, so to speak. So what I'm gonna do is add some participants, even though we have a lot of people, but it's a good thing to add more around and see what happens. So, at the divisions, they just will have 2 more superstars. See where they land. Probably will land on the bottom there, accept, and then things will kind of change. I don't edit any power rankings. I don't boost it up. So, Bishop Dyer, Baron Corbin has the Indy Championship, the main championship. Shotzi is number 2. Karen Cross is number 3. Akira, that did have the title, the main title, and also Lily, is number 4. Akam, part of AOP, is number 5. Scarlett has now the main championship. She is number 6. Chris Danger, number 7. Wesley, number 8. Luke Gallows, part of the Good Brothers, number 9. And Chuckles, one half of the Tortures, is number 10. Stuff like that. So things are moving up in the world, and it's a potential that I may make another tag team, custom tag team for the men, and then kind of boost that up to see if anything would happen, and if that tag team makes it up to NXT. Well, then there's 2 NXT tag teams for sure, because there is none in NXT as of right now. So we will see how that goes. And let's get into where we at. So we are after Wrestler Battles, and we have about 2 months until we get to kind of like the anniversary event. I kind of try to treat it as each year, January to December is 1 year, but in this game you start off as like right away at WrestleMania, and then you do that whole year round, because that's what kind of each season is when it comes to WWE. At the WrestleMania is kind of like the season finale, and then a new season starts after WrestleMania. So that's kind of how, their product works, and it's been, decent right now, of success of how they've planned their stuff. So we'll get into, as of right now, it just showed the only rivalry they have is Jey Uso and CM Punk. NXT has Kalani Jordan and Tatum Paxley, and then Scarlett and Akira, and then Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest, and then Nia Jackson, Candice LeRae. So we will get into Simulate It, and Jey Uso wins the promo with CM Punk. Seth Rollins beats Gunther with Ludwig Kaiser as his kind of manager or extra wrestler that's with him. Liv Morgan wins against Becky Lynch to create a rivalry. And the Judgment Day of JD and Finn lose to American Made, or not American Made, Alpha Academy, Otis and Akira Tozawa, with Maxine Dupree in the corner, along with Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan in Finn and JD's corner. Then we got Rhea Ripley losing to Bayley in a championship match, so Bayley is the new or retained champion. Go to the next show of NXT. We have Oba Femi and Tony D'Angelo. Oba wins over Tony. Then we have Nikita Lyons losing to Fallon Henley, and JC Jane in the corner, and she is questioned if she's going to get bumped up too as well. She was mentioned by, Ava, but until that day comes, of seeing her in the product and saying, hey, she's officially on this thing, then I will change her to Raw or SmackDown, depending on the show that she goes to. Then we have Andre Chase winning against Charlie Dempsey with Javon Evans in the corner. I should probably then delete him from that NXT Outsiders, because I think he's part of that. JC Jane loses to Sol Ruka, and Kalani Jordan loses to Tatum Paxley. So we are going to bump out of here, go to tag teams, and you can create your tag teams, you can delete them, and I did create, or these two created by itself, and they're in a rivalry right now, so I can't, or I can disband it. So I guess the rivalry's over, and that is it on that. I think there's other people, but they're not in the game, so I can't really add that. And then obviously I updated the New Day because Grace Muller's with them. Scarzos, LWO is still around. I don't think Zelina Vega is part of it now, that it's Aleister Black and Zelina Vega, and she has stepped away from it, so we can deleter, and save it. And then I would like to save my changes. So then we move on to the next show. Now we come on to my show. We have Carlito and Baron Corbin against the Tortures. No tag team. Championship on the line, but Carlito and Baron Corbin. I think that might be creating a rivalry with Baron Corbin being the main champ now, and Trickles and Demon Slayer lose to them. Joe Coffey winning against Ralph Rufus. Akira losing to Valhalla in a promo. Fourth match is Gallus of Wolfgang and Mark Coffey beating AOP of Razor and Akam. Isla Dawn winning against Cora Jade. Tyler Breeze beating Brandon Collins, BDE. Congratulates to him of signing to TNA. If that was official, I did see something on social media that he did sign with TNA, but if he did, congratulations. And then our main event is Chris Danger versus Karrion Kross. Then we have SmackDown, and also to plug in, I do have all of the custom-made superstars that are involved in this down below. Their content creator type person, so the author of everything is down in the description to give them their kudos of credit to. They've made the character, they probably made the entrance, they made the moveset and stuff like that. If I were to do that, watch the whole match and everything, and so I gave them a credit down below in the description. So if you were to want to find these wrestlers in the upload of the online shared stuff, you can find the author based off of that character, and it does take a long time for each page to load. I wish it didn't take that long, but it maybe my PC was the amount of RAM, CPU, and stuff like that. But overall, if you're on probably like a PlayStation or something like that, it may take a little bit less, but you can find those authors and stuff who created it in the description down below. So we have a rivalry match of Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, but it may not be with Randy Orton, but Cody Rhodes wins. Then we got Candice LeRae winning against Tiffany. Triple threat with Jimmy and Apollo Crews losing to Jacob Fatu. Street Profits in a championship match, winning or retaining their tag titles against DIY. And eventually that tag team may be fizzled out with Tommaso Ciampa whenever his contract expires, that he is not re-signing. So that will be interesting, because all I've known is Tommaso Ciampa with WWE and Johnny Gargano, whether it be against each other or with each other. Then we got Bianca and Jade Cargill. I kind of just kept them two together, even though Jade has been on singles run. She's won the main title on SmackDown and stuff, and so I just kept it together. Bianca and Jade winning against the Secret Hervis of Piper Niven and Alba Fire, with Chelsea Green being in their corner. And then we have Becky Lynch beating Charlotte Flair with Alexa Bliss in the corner, with the tag team of Allies of Convenience. And then we have NXT Halloween Havoc. So I did remove Duke from Chase U, and I don't know why. It's probably a bug thing or whatnot, or if things haven't been fully deleted and stuff like that, but I feel like I deleted him from it. But anyway, He's in the corner with Andre Chase with Thea Hale when she was with Chase U. Obviously, she's on her own. She's with Joe Hendry, stuff like that, but this is based off of the game. So she won against JC Jane with Fallon Henley in her corner. Tatum Paxley wins against Kalani Jordan. Noam Dar beats Andre Chase. Wendy Chu wins or retains the North American title against Fallon Henley with JC Jane in the corner. Brooks Jensen, so basically the whole NXT Outsiders is against each other. Brooks Jensen loses to Charlie Dempsey in a one-on-one for the North American title with Lexis King in the corner. And then we have the main event with Obafemi retaining the NXT Championship against Ethan Page. And this is just simulating, so I'm not making it to Ethan Page has the North American title. Obafemi vacated the NXT title, so we'll see what happens with that. It's just whoever loses and wins and loses. So that's how I'm kind of letting this roll. So Becky Lynch winning against Roxanne Perez. Second match, Gunther beating Bronson Reed. We have a fatal four-way of Seth Rollins, Finn, Rey Mysterio, and Braun Breaker. So Demon Finn Balor wins. And then AJ Styles beats Austin Theory. And CM Punk beats Javon Evans. Then we have Charlie Dempsey, Brooks Jensen as a tag team with the NXT Outsiders. Tagging against Josh Briggs and Trick Williams that they defeat. Andre Chase beats Stax and Noam Dar. Sean Spears beats Obafemi. Solaruka and Jakara Jackson lose to Nikita Lyons and Lola Vice. And Thea Hale beats Jada Parker. And we're on to our weekly show of Damage Control is no longer together, but they are in this. So Dakota Kai beats Tegan Knox. Sonya Deville beats Blair Davenport. Gigi Dolan beats Indy Hartwell. Kieran Cross beats Brandon Collins, Wolfgang, and Mark Coffey. Referee match, Scarlett beats Akira. Tag team of Baron Corbin and Carlito beat Oro Mensah and Carl Anderson. And Tyler Breeze beats Chris Danger and Joe Coffey. Then we're on to SmackDown with Piper Niven and Alba Fire in the corner, winning to Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss in her corner. Then we have Chelsea Green beating Selena Vega. Nia Jax beating Candice LeRae. Bianca and Jade Cargill beating Mission and B-Fab. Fabulous of Hardcore. That's what Mission and B-Fab is. And then we have Cody Rhodes beating Damian Priest in a one-on-one. Then we got Raw. Jey Uso beating Seth Rollins. Demon Finn Balor beating AJ Styles. Naomi winning over Rhea and Bayley. Then we have Finn Balor. So normal Finn Balor. So I guess I gotta remove Demon Finn Balor. Normal Finn Balor and JD beating Alpha Academy. The main event, Becky Lynch and Io Sky. So Becky Lynch wins. So we're going to edit some shows. We're going to remove Demon Finn Balor because it seems like he's being scheduled twice. Did it not get removed? not saves. Okay, there we go. I just don't want him to get booked twice. So, NXT. We have Theothale against Nikita Lyons, and Theothale wins. JC Jane wins over Jakara Jackson. Oba Femi beats Sean Spears. Andre Chase beats Brooks Jensen, and Trick Williams beats Ethan Page. We have my show with Karrion Kross beating Tyler Breeze. Caden Carter and Katana Chance beating Elektra Lopez and Shotzi. Gigi Dolan beating Akira. And Carlito beating Aiden Sky. Raul Rufus beating Cedric Alexander. Brennan Collins beating Wes Lee. And Joe Coffey beating Chris Danger. We got SmackDown. Piper Niven beating Jade Cargill. Zelina Vega beating Mission. Tiffany Stratton beating Candice LeRae. Nathan Frazier and Axiom Fraxium beating Street Profits. And Cody Rhodes beating Solo Sikoa. We got Raw again. The promo, Jey Uso beating CM Punk. Second match of Bayley beating Naomi. Rey Mysterio beating Braun Breaker. Austin Theory beating Gunther. And draw no contest with Becky Lynch against Liv Morgan. So we got NXT. Tatum Paxley beating Sol Ruka. Jada Parker beating Wendy Chu. Sol Ruka. Oh. I guess Sol Ruka got twice. And she beat Fallon Henley. And then we got Kalani Jordan, Nikita Lyons, and Lola Vice. Kalani Jordan winning. And Oba beating Trick Williams. Then we go to my show. We go to Chris Danger beating Ralph Rufus. Ace Caveman beating Tyler Breeze. Tortures beating Gallius. Then we got Dakota Kai beating Valhalla and Gigi Dolan. Isla Dawn beating Indy Hartwell. Joe Coffey beating Brandon Collins. And the main event is Baron Corbin, Bishop Dyer, beating Sin Cara or Mystico. Simulate, Candice LeRae beats Nia Jax. Fraxium beating DIY. Shinsuke Nakamura beating Apollo Crews. Los Garza beating Street Profits. And Kevin Owens beating Damian Priest. Then we got Raw. Becky Lynch beating Roxanne Perez. Naomi beating Bayley. Rey Mysterio beating Seth Rollins. We got the Kabuki Warriors beating Ivy Nile and Natalia. CM Punk beating Jey Uso. NXT. Obafemi beating Tony D'Angelo. Trick Williams beating Josh Briggs. Jakara Jackson and Sol Ruka beating Jada Parker and Nikita Lyons. Then we got Lexis King and Brooks Jensen beating Andre Chase and Noam Dar. And Thea Hale. Thought I deleted Oro Mencha from NXT. I just think this game, sometimes if you try to save it, it will just like default back to what it was. Thea Hale beating Lola Vice. I mean, I can look at it real quick, but I'm pretty sure with the roster of 23 that Oro Mencha shouldn't be. Yeah, it's not even a part of that, and it's showing up on NXT. And alright. So we are here at my show. We have Chris Danger beating Joe Coffey, Tyler Breeze beating Brennan Collins, Gigi Dolan beating Indy Hartwell, and then the fatal four-way of Dakota Kai, Sonya Deville, Cora Jade, and Valhalla, with Dakota Kai winning. Now we have Angels of Wrestling beating the Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, Brody Hunter beating Ace Caveman, and Bishop Dyer beating Carlito. We got SmackDown with Solo Sikoa. I was going to say Solo Ruka. Solo Sikoa beating Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Promo of Zelina Vega winning over Candice LeRae. Third match of Tiffany Stratton over Piper Niven. Damian Priest had a self-promo. And Shinsuke Nakamura beating Roman Reigns. And then we have Survivor Series War Games, which apparently it was Pretty Deadly, Jacob Fatu, and Tungaloa against Los Garza and DIY. And Pretty Deadly with Jacob Fatu and Tungaloa beat Los Garza and DIY. Second match, Becky Lynch beat Liv Morgan for the title. Bayley beat Naomi for the title. Candice LeRae beat Nia Jax with Johnny Gargano in the corner. Damian Priest beat Cody Rhodes to gain the title. JD McDonough and Finn Balor beat The New Day for the tag titles. Lyra Valkyria beat Raquel Rodriguez for the Intercontinental title. CM Punk lost to Jey Uso for the World Championship title. And the Women's War Games was Jade Cargill, Bianca Zelina BFAB beating Alba Fire, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, and Tiffany Stratton. We have a tag team matchup with Becky Lynch Naomi winning against Raquel and Kairi Sane. Finn and JD win over Jaquan and Cruz of LWO. Rhea Ripley beating Io Sky. Liv Morgan beating Bayley. And Chad Gable beating Sheamus for the Intercontinental Champion. Then we got NXT Deadline, where Thea Hill wins the NXT Women's Championship against Tatum. Andre Chase, Trick, and Josh win over Brooks, Lexus, and Sean Spears. Noam Dar beats Charlie Dempsey for the North American title. Fallon Henley and JC Jane beat Jakara Jackson and Sol Ruka. Ethan Page win over Obafemi for the NXT title. We have my show, and we have Baron Corbin winning over Aiden Sky. Tyler Breeze beating Razor of AOP. Ace Caveman beating Cedric Alexander. Joe Coffey beating Chris Danger. Isla Dawn beating Sonya Deville, Gigi Dolan, and Valhalla. Then we have Scarlett and Dakota Kai beating Elektra Lopez and Shotzi. And Sophia May Marissa retain the titles against Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. We got SmackDown and Cody Rhodes beating Kevin Owens for the promo. Fabulous of Hardcore beat Allies of Convenience. Bianca beating Nia. Tiffany beating Piper. And Jacob Fatu beating Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States title. We got Raw. We got Braun Breaker beating Rey Mysterio. Naomi beating Bayley. Theory beating Punk. Sammy beating Javon Evans. And Rhea Ripley beating Io Sky. We're at NXT. We have Trick and Sean beating Andre and Josh. Lola losing to Kalani. JC and Fallon beating Jakara and Soul. Jada Parker beating Wendy Chu and Nikita Lyons. Thea Hale winning against Sol Ruka. So, Chris Danger beating Joe Coffey. Dakota Kai beating Isla Dawn. Brendan Collins beating Wes Lee. Tyler Breeze beating Karrion Kross. Ace Caveman beating Brody Hunter. And Cedric Alexander beating Bishop Dyer with a successful title retain of Demon Slayer and Chuckles the Tortures over AOP, Akam, and Razor. We got SmackDown. SmackDown with Jade and Bianca beating Lash and Nia. Tiffany beating Piper and Candice. Kevin beating Cody. Solo beating Damian. And Mission being the new United States champion, or retaining, but I think she's the new one, against Chelsea Green. Saturday night's main event of Becky over Naomi for the women's title. Rhea over Io, so I think that ends the rivalry. Cody over Kevin, ending that rivalry. Shinsuke winning the U.S. title, or retaining it against Jacob Fatu. Street Profits keep it or gain it against DIY. Lash and Nia beating Bianca and Jade. And AJ Styles gains the world title against Jey Uso. We have AJ Styles beating CM Punk in a promo. Judgment Day over the Creed brothers. Io Sky and over Bayley. Sammy over Dirty Dom and Chad. Becky Lynch over Naomi. We got NXT with Judge over Charlie. JC over Jakara. Ethan over Sean. Stax over Noam. And Thea over Soul. We have my show. Scarlett retains the title over Cara. Aiden Sky wins over Joe Coffey. Elektra Lopez and Shotzi beat Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Bishop Dyer wins over Carlito. Ace Caveman over Cedric. Chris Danger over Brennan Collins. And Karen Cross over Kommander. We have Charlotte over Candice, Nia, and Tiffany. The Bloodline, MFT, Tamatonga and Tongaloa over the Street Profits. We have Carmelo Hayes over Shinsuke Nakamura. Chelsea Green over BFAB. And Damian over Cody. Alright, this is the last week before the next PLE for my show. So, we have AJ Styles over CM Punk. Bailey over Liv Morgan and Io Sky. Jey Uso over Braun Breaker. Chad Gable over Ludwig Kaiser. Rhea Ripley over Becky Lynch. We got NXT. Ethan Page over Trick Williams. Noam over Stax. Charlie Dempsey Brooks. Jensen over Josh Briggs and Andre Chase. Then we have Sol Ruka and Jakara Jackson over JC Jane and Fallon Henley. And the main event with the promo of Thea Hill winning over Tatum Paxley. And our last show before the PLE, we have Chris Danger beating Brandon Collins. Dakota Kai over Gigi Dolan. Scarlett over Blair Davenport. Tyler Breeze losing to Joe Coffey. Tegan Knox over Indy Hartwell. Ace Caveman over Aiden Sky. And Bishop Dyer over Carlito. So, I'm kind of seeing Bishop Dyer and Carlito, and then Tyler Breeze and Karrion Kross have been at it. Scarlett and Akira went back and forth, and Scarlett, I think, won based off of like 2 out of 3 or just over the 2 matches with the championship that she won it. And then they went again and she couldn't win. So what week is this? So it's been December, so it's the last week of December. We're gonna go to the next show, SmackDown, do that one quick, and then look at what needs to be done. So we have Charlotte over Tiffany, Montez over Tama, Lash Legend and Jade over Zelina in a 2-on-1 handicap, Mission over Chelsea Green, and then Solo over Cody. So, gonna make us to this event. So, I'll kind of show the card, I guess, at least, and then you'll know in the next video what kind of the card is. But it's Sin Cara over Ace Caveman, and Ace Caveman has the title. We have Angels of Wrestling with Sophia May and Marissa, Elektra Lopez and Shotzi, their contenders. We have a Fatal 4-Way Steel Cage with Brody Hunter, Ralph Rufus, Cedric Alexander, and Giovanni Vinci. And then Scarlett putting her title on the line against Dakota Kai. Karrion Kross and Tyler Breeze have a rivalry match. And then there's a Fatal 4-Way with Brandon Collins, Oro Mensah, Joe Coffey, and Chris Danger. Then the main event is Baron Corbin and Carlito, or Bishop Dyer. So 1, 2, 3, 4 title matches. So, with that being said, it is week 4 of December. And championship wise, so they've had it for 2 months. They've had it for another 2 months, but they did win it a while back. I wish within this they gave like the superstars of like accolades of two-time two-time champ of whatever the case may be, because he's the mid-championship, and I gotta see who's where. So I think it was Lily and Akira for a while, and now it's Dakota Kai and Charlotte. The Tortures have been the strong ones in this, which after this, if they, I don't think their tag teams, their titles are on the line. Let's take a quick look again. Angels of Wrestling are on the line, but not the actual tag team titles. So within this video, championships, we're gonna remove them, and it will be sad to see, but Shuckles and Demon Slayer are no longer part of the Indy promotion. They are now they have moved up in the world, and now they are part of NXT. So, if and when they get the tag team titles, and then they're moving up to SmackDown, because there's nobody here, unless if I, which I may do this right away, of create another tag team and add it to the indie promotion and see how far they can win a title, and based off of when they win a title, then they will be moved up to NXT, and then it will be the Demon Slayer, Chuckles, and the other tag team that will be connected, and then they will be kind of battling it out, and I may just make another tag team after that too, depending on how far the series goes. The goal of this whole series is obviously try to make it to the top as quick as possible, and so it's either you hold the title for 6 months or you win it twice within a year. So far no one has accomplished that besides the tag team here, and single-handedly for the men, they've all got bumped down to the mid card, and then from the mid card they go to the main card, or the main event card one, and then if they do well on that one, then they go to NXT, and then based off of that, then they go to the mid card, the North American one, and then they go to the main one, and then they go to SmackDown, and then they go to United States, and then based off of United States, they go to. But this may take forever within this series, but it's something fun and see how attributes and power rankings, how it can boost a superstar and shows how far something can go. But if they've won at least one title throughout a year, at least, I would say that it's been successful and bump them up. But I don't think I've bumped anyone up from my indie promotion to from here, because Brody Hunter was up there and then he's gone, and then Ace Caveman, he won it against Aiden Sky, and Aiden Sky had it for a while. I may bump Aiden Sky because he was the first one to get it. He was the first one to be a champion, and then bump him to the main roster one soon, the main event one, and see how far he can go. But I think this also Ace Caveman guy can do pretty well too. Brody Hunter hasn't really done much, even though that's the guy that I kind of thought of myself, of, you know, being like a bounty hunter type thing, and that's kind of like my overall character. Like if I were to be kind of a pro wrestler, to kind of be a bounty hunter, but I know that's kind of already been out there with the bounty hunter Brian Keith in AEW and stuff, but you know, that's just something that, you know, would be like a good like heel or something of that nature. And then you have like Roman Reigns that has that kind of same attire and stuff like that, but he's just like not necessarily a bounty hunter. They were just like, you know, tactical men as the Shield. So it just fit well with what he was wearing and stuff. So all that jazz. But other than that, hopefully you had a great holidays, having a great start into year 2026, and catch you on the next one.